Blessings. Thank you, Miss Terry. I appreciate you. I was about to do that right now. So thank you. So yeah, I hope your weekend was productive and blessed. So let me go ahead and share my screen and just give you guys some a couple of reminders before we get started up so you guys can see my screen clearly. Yes. Awesome. All right. I think so. I don't think anybody said yes, but I'm assuming yes. You guys can see my screen. All right. Awesome. And there's a lot of you still tuning in. So welcome to the training. All right. So just a couple of reminders. Remember to be present. Remember to be present in this conversation. Bring your full attention into the Zoom. Eliminate distractions. Obviously, if you're driving, focus on that too. And just focus on my voice in the background. Focus and stay with the conversation. Engage and drop insights on the chat. If you capture a nugget or if you have an insight, I want you guys to use the chat. Drop in the insights in the chat. And understand that how you do anything is how you do everything. Everything is a reflection of what you do. And remember, there's a lot of us in the Zoom right now, but remember that this message today is specifically for you, right? There's a message for you today. And my intention every single week is to empower you guys with the best information possible. That way you guys are grounded, centered, and focused on what the most important things are for your real estate business. So thank you so much for being part of this amazing community. Thank you for your attention and thank you for your time once again. The conversation that I prepared for you guys today is about atomic habits for real estate professionals. Let's grow. Come on now. Atomic habits, because I really believe, one of the things I'll say before we get started up, and this is going to be part of the conversation, but I think that talent and skill get in the way of success. Talent and skill get in the way of success because I see a lot of talented individuals, a lot of very skilled individuals that are not achieving the success that they wish they had. And it's because you start to lean in on your skill and your talent and you forget about the most important thing, which is those daily habits. The habits, like what you do on a daily basis. I mean, that's rent. Rent is doing success every single day. Non-negotiable. So before we get started up with everything else, we're going to go into some affirmations. So yes, we're going to yell out loud. Yes, we're crazy like that in here, right? So thank you guys for being crazy with me, right? Because you got to be crazy to be successful anyways. So feel free to unmute yourself and repeat after me. Unmute yourself, repeat after me. I want to hear you guys loud and clear. All right. So 1, 2, 3, power up.
1, 2, 3, power up.
Power up.
1, 2, 3, power up.
Equals high
1,
income.
2, 3, power up.
High energy equals high income.
High energy equals high income.
High energy equals high income.
Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better.
Every day and every way, I'm getting
In every way, I'm getting better and better.
Every day and every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger.
Every day and
Every
every way.
day and every way, I'm getting stronger and stronger.
Every day and every way, I'm getting smarter and smarter.
Every day
Every day and every way, I'm getting smarter and smarter.
All I need is within me now.
All I need is within me now.
I have perfect health.
I have perfect health.
I was born to win.
I was born to win.
I will never surrender.
I
I will never surrender.
I will always keep growing.
I will always keep growing.
I was born to be great.
I
I
was
was
born
born to be great.
Today will be the best day of my life.
Today's the
Today is
best
the
day of
best day of my life.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on now. Thank you. Appreciate you guys playing full out. And yes, like I said, you got to be crazy to be successful. High energy equals high income. Guys, like really, there's a connection to that. Your energy could magnetize business to you. If you come into a meeting, if you come into a room with the right energy, doors that you thought wouldn't be open for you will be open. The energy is everything, guys. So I want you guys to also, now that we got some affirmations, we got some integration, I want you guys just to breathe. We're going to do 6 breaths. I want you to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth 6 times, okay? So let's start it up. Inhale through the nose. 1, exhale through the mouth. 2, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 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 Inhale through the nose. Hold it, hold it, hold it. I want you to hold that last breath. Hold that last breath. And now let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. All right. So now we got the breath, right? And I'm guys, I'm walking you guys through my sequence that I do every morning. So I want you guys to also tune into gratitude. What are you grateful for today? Right? And then just don't say it. Just don't listen to what I'm saying. I want you guys to feel what it is that you guys are grateful for this morning. Okay? I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to hear. I'm so grateful to see. I'm so grateful to feel. I'm so grateful to breathe. I'm so grateful to think. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to wake up this morning. I'm so grateful for this beautiful community. I am so grateful. What are you grateful for? Feel it. Tune into it. Fill in the blank. What are you grateful for? Now, I want you guys to now visualize. Take a moment. I want you to create a mental movie. I want you to tune in. You can close your eyes if you have the ability to do so. Do not close your eyes if you're driving. But if you want to tune into it, I want you to visualize calls coming in, opening up new transactions. I want you to visualize yourself, dressed up really nice, going in, handing over those keys to those clients. I want you to see wires opening up your bank account, and you see wires hitting your bank account every single day. I want you to visualize this. Visualize you walking into your car. Visualize you living the lifestyle that you desire. Visualize it. Feel it. Experience it. Create that mental movie. Take a moment. And also get connected to how do you feel? How are you walking? How are you talking? How's your energy? Right? Tune into that. Visualize that. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we're going to be moving on. So thank you so much for participating. That's just a little glimpse of what I do every single morning, right? This is what I started to think the other day. Well, like a while back, I was like, you know what? I do this stuff every day and I tell people to do it. Like, why not us do it as a community? So I hope you guys enjoy that and you guys are getting a ton of value, because of my intention every single week, guys, is that you guys get your energy right. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. If you get your energy right, you're gonna have the enthusiasm. You're gonna have the excitement. You're gonna know what to say. You're not gonna be in your head worried about what you're gonna say. You're gonna know what you need to say, because you're gonna be so present, so grateful, so energized, so in the moment. And that's a superpower, by the way. Being in the moment is such a superpower. Being present with somebody, having the ability to make the other person on the other side feel like they're the only person in this world is a superpower. In this very distracted society that we have. Not this community. In this community, we're present, we're grounded, we pay attention to people, we honor people in front of us. That is what's going to be magnetic to your business. That's going to open up doors for you. So our goal, right? Everybody should have your own personal goals, right? There's a goal as a company is to serve 21,000 families, to have $10 billion in production, and to grow an organization to over 10,000 agents globally, right? That's the goal. I like to read my goals twice a day, every day. So I want you to read your personal goals twice a day, every day. The reticular activating system is going to be working in your favor. You're going to start to, you're going to randomly think about a person that you need to call. You're going to see somebody that you haven't seen. You're going to get an email with an opportunity. You're going to get something, and you better believe, pay attention, because when you're intentional, the world starts to become activated around your goals. Intention is everything. So I'm going to go into, you guys already know the drill. First part of this market update, I go into local market update. And I've taught many of you how to do your own personal market update, which you guys should. And then I'm going to go into some national statistics. Not a lot of change in last week from this week, but I'm going to go over a couple refreshers. And the second part of this conversation, I'm going to go into the atomic habit conversation that I have created for you guys today. So the market, and just these 5 counties. These are 5 counties. And again, I actually, who saw the video that I did that was like I said, don't be this agent, right? You guys probably saw that. I said, don't be this agent. Probably got like 11,000 views on that video. For me, it's a lot, but that one, I basically started to capture all of the excuses of every single person, like interest rates, inventory, the lawsuit thing, like blah, 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 like filling in the blank. And I got all of those things that people are normally saying. And I started to get connected. I'm like, look, pay attention to reality. This community is connected to reality. This is so important, guys. When you guys understand the numbers and understand what is actually happening, you guys can't like say, oh, you know what? There's not enough business. There is plenty of business. Look at the market. Look at LA. Look at Orange County. Look at San Bernardino. Look at Riverside. Look at San Diego. These are just 5 counties that I'm keeping track of. There's people here from all over the nation. When you guys start doing your numbers and you guys start paying attention to reality, you're like, wow, there's a lot of business. See, the market could be down, but that doesn't mean your personal business has to be down. The market could do whatever it wants. My business is not going to suffer because of it. Why? Because I have powerful habits every single day, and I choose to create my reality every single day. 1.2 billion in LA, 650 million in Orange County, 229 million in San Bernardino, 374 million. This is 7 days. 536 million in San Diego. This is 7 days, guys. 7 days. So what does that mean? And I think 1.2, that's like $2.8 billion in sales. This is not correct. Ms. Terry, I think we made an error here. 30 billion. It's not 30 billion. It's 2.8 billion in sales, right? In just these 5 counties. 2,900 transactions closed. And that means that agents were paid $77 million in commissions in the last 7 days. And I just measured 5 counties. So I encourage you to do the math in your local market and understand what is happening in your local market and provide that data and that information to your community. Because if you are the voice box of opportunities, then people that are looking for opportunities will find you. But if you are not positive about the market and you're saying all this negativity, which the news already does an excellent job of doing that, by the way, you're not the news, right? You're a real estate professional, so keep yourself as a real estate professional and focus on serving families. Right? There's a couple of myths. I'm just going to go over this stuff with you, right? Foreclosures. Like, this is a big one right now, guys. Everybody's like doom and gloom foreclosures. No, numbers show we're still super low. There's only like 187,000 foreclosures. If we include the commercial side, there's about 300,000 foreclosures. When we had the biggest market collapse ever, we had this many. It was like 1.5 million foreclosures. Like crazy amount, 2008, 2009, 2010. We're nowhere near that, right? And if these numbers start to increase, guess who's going to know first? You guys. You guys will know when the foreclosures are going up. And guess what? If there is foreclosures, that means that there's opportunities for you to serve a community. Because every single market has a community that you need to serve. Every single community, every single market. You just need to pivot. There's also a huge myth that Wall Street is buying everything. That's also not a fact. That is a lie, right? The mom and pop investors, this is one of the things that you guys should have your messaging on social media. You guys should be talking to the investors out there and letting them know that you got deals, you got opportunities off market. By the way, if you're wondering, well, I don't have any opportunities off the market. Yes, you do. You have a platform called Zenlist here, where there's over 100 properties off market. Every single one of you has properties off market. So if I was you guys, I would start to promote these properties that are on Zenlist, which I get alerts on it daily. This is why I know. Zenlist.com. You guys can register for this. You guys are getting this for free as EXP agents. You guys should be showcasing these off-market properties and talking about, hey, I got 100 properties off market. If you know that these investors are buying these properties, the majority of them, 125,000 transactions in Q2. I mean, this is a big number, guys. So start to promote that, right? If you guys want to attract business, that's a really easy one. Again, 1 to 9 property homeowners, right? Mom and pop investors, they're leading the market. It's not Wall Street buying everything. And I would also thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry, for dropping in the Zen list. Actually, you just sent it directly to me. See if you could share it with the entire community. But thank you for that. Yeah, so Terry's going to drop it into the chat for you guys here so you guys can see it. Thank you so much. Register for this. You guys can get registered for this in 10 seconds. Once you guys get registered for this, you guys are going to start seeing all of the off-market opportunities. Start to create content around this. Let your community know. And These are the top 5 reasons of why people are selling. Understand the top 5 reasons. Create content around these top 5 reasons. Right? Understand. People want 21% that are people are making moves, want to move closer to family and friends. 11% are moving because of retirement. 11% are moving because their neighborhood is not as great. 10% are moving because their house is too small. Right? So it could be something like, hey, are you looking for a bigger home? Right? Like, that's your hook. Like, you literally, like, the opposite of whatever this is your hook on your video. Right? Hey, has your neighborhood, you know, are you looking for a beautiful neighborhood? Like something like that. Are you ready to retire? Hey, do you want to live closer to family? Right? Like, that's to be your messaging and your hook. That's again, this is where these are the people that are making moves. 77% of people that are making moves are also empty nesters. Every single title company out there, name whichever one you guys want to use, has this data. Have them find the empty nesters for you. Also create marketing around this, right? Target them specifically. There is enough data nowadays, right? When I was knocking on doors and, you know, prospecting for listings, I didn't have all this data, guys. Like, this is so simple now. You guys could literally get the specific house, this specific, like, you don't have to knock on every single door. You can get the specific one, which one's an empty nester, right? 77%, that's what they're making moves. So these are the latest and greatest. I think Benjamin Simmons. Yes, I am going to go back. Here's the previous slide right here. Take a screenshot of this. By the way, if you guys are part of our email list, you guys get a copy of the slide deck at the end of it. Yes, you guys can use everything we post here, right? ROD, rip off and deploy. Utilize this information. Everything I do, you guys could do. Don't reinvent the wheel. So now I'm going to go into a different update because that's the latest and greatest update. Nothing again, right? I've been keeping you guys up to date every single week, right? So this is, I think, the most important information I wanted to share with you on a national statistic. But this is something I'm really proud of, guys. Our company, this is for quarter number 3. Quarter number 3. Again, we are the only profitable company in the industry this year and last year. Look at our results. We decreased 2% to 1.2 billion. Gross profit decreased 10% to 83 million. Net income of 1.3 million. Right? We generated 56.8 million of adjusted operating cash flow. And we have 120 million in cash reserves in comparison to 121 million in cash reserves as of last year. Yes, our numbers are slightly down. But this, I'm telling you guys, there's not a single company outside of this that has this much cash on hand. And I've shared with you guys different programs where you guys can also go and save a brokerage right now. There's brokerages that are literally filing for bankruptcy every other day. I see it. So if you guys have anybody in that position, our company is in position to help them. You guys should be extremely proud as EXP agents. I just got off the phone. My first appointment that I set up this morning was an agent calling me that she hasn't got paid in 2 weeks. Right? That's the fastest way to get somebody upset in a company. Don't pay them, right? But these other companies, what they're doing is that they're you know, paying their bills, which they're not supposed to, and deferring the payments of their agents. So again, this is really important information. We also just got our first boost brokerage, which was a huge announcement. 600 agents. They moved over September 12th, and they used the boost incentive. We also just hosted our EXPCon in Canada. And then we just also announced a partnership with Realty.com into Canada. So those are the latest updates with EXP that I just wanted to share with you guys. This is really important. This is really something you should be proud of as an agent here. Transactions increased 1% to 139,000 transactions increased. And transaction volume decreased 4%, 48.5 billion. Okay. So these are the numbers that I want you guys to know. Also, another exciting update, guys. We also have a partnership with Home Hunter. Home Hunter, right, which is an international property search. This is like a global MLS. So this is a game changer. If you guys can take a screenshot, I'm not going to go through every single thing. But This is going to be game changer because, again, we're one company all over the world. So that means that you could find properties all over the world and streamline the buying process for all your customers utilizing this platform, Home Hunter. So I just want you guys to know about that. Also, we also just had a property management solution just recently with Home River Group. So this is really cool, right? How many of you run across like a property management situation where your client says, hey, I want to rent my house. You guys can now refer it to this platform and generate revenue every single time without just referring it. Literally, you could refer it to Home River Group and they'll pay you $750 per door for every property that you send them. And they will keep it in their database and they will pay you a referral. If they decide to sell, they would pay you a referral for up to 10 years. They're going to nurture that customer. So huge, right? They currently manage 30,000 properties all across the US. So property management solution, right? If you got somebody in that category. So those are the latest updates. Now changing gears. As there are updates. So now we're going to get into atomic habits for real estate professionals. Transform your business one small step at a time. See, a lot of people think that they have to do some massively different thing that they're doing. But in contrary to that belief system, there's only small things that you got to do to truly succeed at a really high level. It's those small habits compounded over time that make a massive difference that's disproportionate in the future. But I think that what gets in the way with most people, honestly, is the delayed gratification. That's what gets in the way of most people's success, right? Winners understand that delayed gratification is part of the process. Delayed gratification means that, hey, I want to make $1 million a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, like whatever the case is, right? You want to make $1 million. Some people, after they don't get that million, they say like, oh, you know what? I'm going to scratch that goal. I'm never going to make that happen. I'm going to decrease my goal to $500,000. I'm going to decrease my goal to 250. Like, you start to sabotage your own success. But the thing is that if you understand success and you understand winning is not part of your business. Your business is the habit of showing up every single day. Every single day, no matter what. If the result shows up now or later. Everything that you cannot control outside of yourself, I consider that God's business. So don't get into God's business. Get into, stay focused on what you can control. So what are atomic habits? The compound effect of small changes, tiny changes, remarkable results. So I want you guys to focus on the process, and I want you guys to focus on the power of habit stacking, right? And I'll get into what that means here shortly. But you guys really got to focus on the process. And I honestly think that that is the biggest thing. The most important thing of habits in real estate, right? How habits shape your success in real estate and the role of a routine in high stakes sales environment. So guys, it's not rocket science. You guys understand that you guys need to do something daily, right? That is lead generation. You guys need to do something daily that is follow-up. You guys need to do something daily that is marketing. And you guys need to incorporate that sequence every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. That's what you got to do every single day. Also, you got to make it really obvious. Set up your environment to succeed. If you guys got a bunch of distractions around you, right? Like I am actually, there's a book that talks about this. You got to literally create, it's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He says, create a bunker. You got to create a bunker around you. That way you don't have any distractions. You got to literally create your environment, take everything off your desk, make sure that when you're lead generating, you're lead generating. Focus on that one thing. Make it easy for you to, fall into your habits. Because what happens is that you don't have an environment that's creating success for you. So you're all over the place trying to put it together every single day and trying to figure it out and changing it daily. And every other day you're like doing something new. And you're not really just creating something that is sustainable and consistent. So the most important thing is that creating an environment, create a bunker, eliminate all distractions, and focus on what you need to do in front of you. I'm not telling you what you got to do because there's so many different ways that you could generate this business. You guys could utilize social media. You guys could obviously call expires, call for sale by owners, call neighborhoods, call sellers that are empty nesters, right? There's so many different things you could do, but it's not negotiable. One of the other things I'll say, guys, I'm not calling sellers for my business anymore. I'm talking to real estate professionals every single day. I got another call like this last week. This last 2 weeks, I've gotten a listing call. Come list me calls. I'm getting calls. You know, I got a guy that wanted to sell 3 units in Rosemead that I sold a property to 11 years ago, randomly. Not randomly either, because I am intentional, right? I think I was saying an affirmation last week. I sign listings every day, and boom, there just listing shows up. So you guys need to do the activities, and what is going to happen, you guys are going to get results, and it might not even be just directly from what it is that you're doing. You might just get it from a completely different source. Case in point, this is the other hack that I'll tell you guys. When you guys are prospecting and you guys are calling your past clients and you guys are calling your sphere of influence, or you're doing anything, if you have a great conversation with somebody, make sure that you guys save their number on your phone. That was literally why I got that listing. This lady that I sold a house to 11 years ago, her name is Roxana. She calls me, and exactly when I answer the phone, I'm like, hey, what's up, Roxana? I didn't even know who Roxana was. But because I have a number saved on my phone, she's like, oh my God, you remember me. I'm like, you sold me a house 11 years ago. My mom wants to sell 3 units in Rosemead, right? So another hack that I want you guys to do, make it a habit. This is, again, right? This conversation today is about habits. Make it a habit that every single person you talk to, you save their number on your phone. Because it sucks when somebody calls you and they're like, oh, it's so-and-so, and you don't even know who they are, right? That's going to automatically decrease the rapport in the conversation. So make it attractive. The power of temptation bundling. Pairing tasks you need to do with those you want to do. Example, listening to your favorite podcast while prospecting. That's what I do all the time, right? I have a podcast, I have a book, I have an audio in the background, and what I'm doing is that I am bundling my habits. When I'm driving, I'm also listening to an audible, I'm also listening to a book, and I'm also making outbound prospecting calls. I have my list. Before I get on my car and before I get on my ride, I already have my list of people that I know I'm going to call. So compound those habits together. That way you can stack those things and you can maximize your time, and you can also merge it with something that you like to do. And it could be something like you're just listening to some music. Before I got into this conversation today, I was listening to like some motivational music, right? That way I can get my energy right. And I'm also preparing to talk to you guys here in this conversation. So make sure that you stack both of those things. Make it easy, right? For habits, guys, you also got to make it easy. If you got to jump through 10 different hoops to make an activity happen, or if it's very difficult for you to do it, it's not going to be sustainable. And that's probably not going to get you to your success that you're looking for. Okay? So you got to make it really easy. Make it really easy. Something that you can easily get to, something you can easily do every single day. It can't be like a massive undertaking, because that's where I think most people lose it. They say, you know what, today I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to make these calls. And they're like, oh, let me go ahead and research this platform. Let me go ahead and put the list together. By the time that they're done getting everything ready, they're like, I don't even want to do the calls anymore. Oh, I just got a call from so-and-so and I got to go do something. So what happens is that your goals don't manifest, and you don't actually get the results that you're looking for, because you're not solidifying your calendar, honoring your calendar, and you're not doing the activity. That's the other thing, guys. When you guys are putting something on your calendar and you guys are doing those tasks, don't negotiate with anything else. Don't negotiate with anything else. If you're negotiating with your calendar, then that's where you have this roller coaster of success, right? That's where your business goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. So are you guys with me still? Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Also, I want you guys to track your habits. I want you to track your habits and performance, because a lot of the times what happens is that you think that you're doing certain things and it's leading to your success, and you keep doing those things and it's not. So you got to measure what is actually working, right? If I made X amount of calls, how many appointments did I actually set up? How many transactions did I open? So you got to measure what it is that you're doing. Okay. And it doesn't mean you got to measure it like day one. Okay. Don't get like, oh, you know, I did it for a day and it didn't work. No, I'm not talking about that. I want you to like get some real data, some real feedback, minimum of 90 days. Like 90 days that you're committed to a process every single day. And you start looking back and you're like, all right, cool. What did I actually create? What actually happened? That's how you start to really track your performance and if it really works. Because again, I don't want you guys to like just, I kind of visualize like you planting a seed, you know, for an apple tree. You put the soil, you put the, you know, you water it for a couple of days and automatically you don't get that apple tree and you're like, you know what? I didn't work. I'm going to plant something else. I'm going to plant an orange tree. And you guys do that with your goals. You guys say you're going to do X and you guys don't get it on time. And then you guys just pull out the entire vision goal and you start to recreate a new one and you sabotage your own success. So mastery through marginal gains. Next point. 1% improvement philosophy, right? I want you guys to commit yourselves to the process and getting better by 1% every single day, because that compounds and exponentially, like you guys are going to be living into a situation where you're like, whoa, how did I even create this? I'll give you guys a case study, right? Like I'll give you guys exactly what I did when I committed myself to open houses. That was one thing that I committed myself to becoming a master at. When I barely got into this business, I was like, you know what? Open houses became my thing. I committed myself and I said, how many days am I going to do it? At this point in time, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any other business. So I made myself a goal that I would do open houses every single day. That's what I did, Monday through Sunday. And then I told a small group of people around me that I'm going to be doing open houses every single day until I become successful. I didn't say I'm going to do it for 6 months. I'm going to do it for 8 months. No, I said I'm going to do open houses until I become successful. And guess what? My first open houses wasn't that great. My first week, my first 2 weeks, my first 3 weeks weren't that great. My first month wasn't that great. Month number 2 started getting a little bit better. Month number 3 started getting a little bit better. Month number 4 started getting better. Number 5 started getting better. Month number 6 started getting better. Month number 6, because I didn't negotiate with my process, I didn't negotiate with my habits, I literally did open houses every single day. Guys, I want you guys to understand that. Like, I'm not just saying, oh yeah, Monday through Sunday. I literally did it Monday through Sunday, 6 months in a row. And honestly, I did a video about this earlier this morning. I said, you got to burn the boats, right? I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I said, I am not stopping this activity until I become successful. I had no other choice, right? There's so many other different things you could do, but I committed myself to that. I said, open houses, there's going to be nobody that's better than me at open houses. So I would make sure I focused on enough signs. I would do 50 plus signs, right? I made sure that I understood every single objection because I had taken notes. That's the other thing. I don't see a lot of you guys taking notes on where you guys get stuck. If you guys are getting stuck in an activity, it's an objection, make sure you write it down and go to your team leader or mentor and make sure that they give you some insights on how to break through to it. And that's what I would do. I would meet with my mentor once a week and I would give him my results. I would tell him what was happening. I would tell him how many clients I got. I would tell him how many, open houses I did, which was 7 a week. And then I would tell him like, hey, this is how many transactions I opened or I didn't open. And this is where I got stuck. And he would give me, and I would write it all down. So eventually there was not a single thing that somebody could say walking into that open house that I didn't already have a response for. But guess what happened after 6 months? I didn't close a deal in month 1. I didn't close a deal month 2. I didn't close a deal month 3. I didn't close a deal month 4. I didn't close a deal month 5. Month number 6, I finally closed my first transaction and doing open houses. I'm not the brightest person. Like, I just know how to work hard and commit to stuff, right? So what happened after 6 months, not only did I close that transaction, but I ended up meeting an investor. And this investor, I followed up with him 2 days later, did not buy the open house, but he says to me, hey, I got other properties that I'm remodeling and I'm looking for a great agent that I could partner with. so I could look for more transactions. So I'm just looking for the right person. I followed up with him. I met with them 3 days later. And when I met with him, I ended up signing 3 listings on the spot. This took, but did it actually take 1 hour or did it take 6 months, right? The commitment to the process. And then this one client ended up being my #1 client, and I ended up selling over 500 homes just for this one investor that I met at this one open house. Did I know that I was going to be an investor? No. But I committed to the process. If you start doing something so much, you will get lucky. And that's how you overcome plateaus, by the way. You overcome plateaus by committing to the process. And you find new habits and you replace them with the old habits, right? A lot of you probably have these old habits of, like, you guys are probably sitting on Netflix for too long. Or you guys are distracting yourself with too many different things. You got to commit yourself and replace your old habits with new habits. But I'm telling you that the winning formula, guys, is going to come from you burning the boats and you guys deciding that you guys are going all in until you get to your destination. All right. So got one more slide here. One more slide I want to get into here. Let me see. The role of accountability partners. I want you guys to get with an accountability partner, right? You guys have a community here that is awesome. You guys got to get at least one other person that understands your goals, your vision, and where you're going, that is going to hold you accountable, that is not going to let you off the hook, right? This is why I create an opportunity every single week for you guys to share your goals. Why? Because this is an opportunity for you to vocalize your goals. When you give life to your goals by saying them out loud, you hold yourself accountable. How many of you have ever said, like, hey, I'm going to do X? And doesn't it stress you out? You're like, oh my God, I just committed myself to saying that I'm going to do X, right? I find that a lot of people also are fearful of declaring their goals or being accountable because they're scared of the responsibility. A lot of people are not successful because they're afraid of the responsibility, right? One of the things that I did, guys, as I became a leader, right? Like basically when I went from a producer to becoming a leader, I had to take new actions every single day. And you better believe that I didn't consider myself a leader for the first like 4 years that I started doing leadership. It took time. It took me showing up every single day. It took me having conversations. It took me doing it badly over time and then having an accountability community to tell me and give me feedback for me to become the person that I am today. But you have to be willing. I think the #1 thing I want you guys to get about habits, that you got to delay gratification. You cannot go to the gym for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month and expect to have a body that you like ultimately desire. It's all delayed gratification. It's all habits. It's all you doing things. I actually met with a personal trainer recently, and I asked her, I said, what's the one thing that it leads you to to be like really fit? Like, what's one habit that you have that's a non-negotiable? And she told me that one thing that she was doing every single day was on the Stairmaster for 1 hour. And I told her I was only doing like 10 minutes of cardio. So since I met with this trainer and she told me that one nugget, I've been on the Stairmaster every single day, not an hour, but for 30 minutes. And that has, I know, 1 hour, bro. 1 hour on the Stairmaster. I'm only doing 30 minutes every single day, but I stuck with it for over a month now. And I've seen massive results. Like, I catch myself throughout the day feeling like more energized. I'm burning fat off my body. Like, I'm getting people like, hey, you look a little bit differently. It's going to take some time, though. Like, just with your body, with your finances, with your goals, everything is going to take longer than you expect. So also another key note, I'm kind of going off the topic off of this slide, but don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 2 or chapter 3 or chapter 4 or chapter 5 or chapter 6 or chapter 10, right? Make sure that you are following your own personal process every single day over time. And your next step is going to show up. It's going to continue to show up in front of you. But you got to trust and have faith within yourself that what it is that you're doing is leading you to the next step, leading you to the next step, leading you to the next step. That's how you have to operate. And I'm going to get into a couple of quotes that I found on habits. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Right? Aristotle. Aristotle said that. Also, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. James Clear, which is the creator of Atomic Habits, actually, which I'm going to get into his book here shortly. But that's why I'm so passionate about personal development. By the way, personal development only comes into play when stuff is not working, right? Everybody, when they're getting the deals, when they're getting the transaction, when you're making all the money you desire, when you're signing the contracts, you're not really like saying, oh yeah, I need personal development. Personal development comes in when stuff hits the fan, when interest rates go to 8%, right? When inventory gets tight, that's when personal development really matters. There's another quote. The difficulty is not in new ideas, but in escaping from the old ones. John Maynard. All right. Sorry about that. I got a couple of calls here, guys. All right. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So after today, guys, I want you guys to literally, specifically write out what it is that you are committing yourself to doing every single day. By the way, this information is not a secret. You guys can go on a video. You guys can just take away any idea that I've said today and implement every day and commit to it and get an accountability partner. Get somebody that's going to hold you accountable and stick with it. The principles that I learned were from this guy, James Clear, Atomic Habits, right? And these are the top 10 points of this book. The compound effect of tiny changes. That's one of the points. Focus on systems, not goals. Identity-based habits. It's all about who you guys are going to become, by the way. It's not about what you do. It's who you need to become. It's all about who you need to become. That's why I start this conversation about visualizing yourself, like how you would walk, how would you talk, how you're going to dress. It's about who you're going to become. The 4 laws of behavior, habit stacking and implementation, intentions, environment design, the 2-minute rule, the role of family, friends, habits as reinforcing of an identity, right? Because, guys, the most powerful thing and the most, I guess the biggest thing for you to boost your confidence is doing what you say you're going to do. When you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, that gives you power. And then that reinforces your identity and says like, oh yeah, I'm actually somebody that honors my agreements. I'm somebody that has integrity, personal integrity, tracking and accountability, right? Top 10 habits. So I encourage all of you guys to read this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is a really powerful book. Now, going into what our company's doing, we're at $13.64. This is the stock for our company. We also have some really powerful trainings, which Terry has already sent out to you guys, but Terry's going to drop it here into the chat. But we have some business planning workshops. We got a couple of NARIP events, guys, and every single day we got role playing, we got skill building, we got leadership conversations, we got free coaching calls, we got systems training. Like everything you guys need in your business, we already have a training for it, and all you guys got to do is plug in. That's the only thing that I can't do for you guys. But if you guys plug in, you guys are going to get the results. So there you go, Miss Terry. Thank you so much. So now, I heard that we had some good news about mortgage update. So Mr. Neil Anders, are you ready to give us the mortgage update for the week?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. And that is absolutely true. We did have a very nice gain last week, multiple days strung together of interest rates coming down. Really positive thing. We're already getting back in front of clients, past conversations, in text, over the phone, in email. Hey, rates took a nice big drop. This is your chance. Let's get back at it again. Getting really good at selling positive things and positive news, guys. We're seeing the traction on it. As far as for rate news today, stocks are higher. Bonds are a little lower today. We're giving up just a little bit of the gains from Friday. The 10-year's up 7 basis points to 4.64. It's kind of normal to give a little give back after such a strong week, but we are in a much better position than we were. As far as for news happening, today there'll be the Senior Loan Officer Survey is going to be released. It basically looks at Q3 lending results. We expect it to show tightening lending standards and weak lending across the board. That includes car loans and home loans. And because we anticipate the data to be weak, it shows that a slower economy and credit crunch are in place. That could continue to help the bond market and keep this rally happening, which means rates keep coming down. That's our rate update. I want to shift to kind of a market update, what we're looking at. One of the big things we watch is as we go deeper into a recession that puts more pressure on the Fed to have to bring rates down for us. That unemployment rate has risen 0.5% from its low at 3.4% in April. Now we're at 3.9%. When you look back historically, typically anytime you have a half point like that, that's a message to the Fed that we're facing a recession. The data could take 1 to 2 months to keep up, but this very much so means that the Fed could recognize us being in a recession, which of course would lead to lower inflation and mortgage rates. Last thing I want to talk about is I want to discuss in terms of loan products, a question that comes up a lot right now. People are asking, well, I have people asking about assumable loans. What is that? So a couple of questions I wanted to address today. Number one, what is a loan assumption? Assumption is when a current borrower signs over the loan to a new borrower and then they become responsible for the payments. This traditionally happens in the past between family members, things like that, but any seller can agree potentially with a buyer. What type of loans are eligible for assumption? Typically, it's your government loans, FHA, VA, USDA loans. So those are ones someone's sitting on a 4% rate. That could be their value proposition as a seller. Hey, I'll let you assume my loan. You take over this 4% rate. That helps them when negotiating to get the price they want. Who's eligible for a mortgage assumption? Really, any borrower that has the credit, income, and assets that allow them to qualify for a normal mortgage. If they could get a normal VA or FHA loan, they should be able to assume one of these government loans from the seller. What is the process? My last question, the process of an assumption is whoever that current homeowner or borrower is, they just need to call their loan servicer, state their intention to have their loan assumed, and then work with the proposed buyer to submit the documents in just like they would get a regular loan and be able to assume that loan. Want to close with this, Leo, and then a value proposition. A couple pros and cons. The pros being, as a seller, you could potentially offer a lower interest rate to your buyer than they could get in a general market, which, by the way, is also a pro for the buyer as well. Limited closing costs, no appraisal required. There's a lot of pros here. Some of the potential cons, and the big one being having to assume the difference, right? So for simple math, if you're assuming someone's VA loan at 4% and they owe $250,000. If they got a 4% rate, they probably own the property for years. If they've owned it for years, there's probably equity there. They ain't selling for $250,000. Let's say they want to sell for $500,000. If you're a buyer and you're assuming their loan at $250,000, that means you got to come in with the difference, right? So here's a great strategy for you. Go ahead and reach out to me and reach out to my team. Let's get those buyers pre-approved in advance for a second mortgage. Second mortgages can go as high as 90% of the purchase price. So now in that same scenario, if your buyer's pre-approved with us and has a second mortgage ready to go, you find a seller who wants to sell their property at $500,000, you're assuming $250,000, but you can get a second mortgage for $200,000. The buyer can actually come in with as little as 10% down, only $50,000 down. Now they have a 4% first, a going market on the second. That blended rate is still much better, maybe 6%. It's a much better deal. Here's a major value prop that I want to have your takeaway is this, Leo's. I would use this to get more buyers to the table and say, look, what if we can get you an assumable loan? Let's get you pre-approved for a second. Let's get you in process, right? Now, we've had several clients that have chased that 4% rate, but maybe they find a home they just really love and they're like, well, I can't assume a loan on it, but man, I want this property. Let's talk. And we're like, how about a 2-1 buy down? We can't get you 4%. We can get you 6%, and they're still moving forward. It's a way to get people into, it's a call of action. Get them to raise their hand. Those big, billboards on the side of the road from BMW. Come on in and get a $399 lease. Not everybody leaves with a $399 lease, but it gets them to raise their hand. It's a call to action. It gets them on the car lot. Once they start driving the car around, sometimes they figure out a better package, makes more sense for the car they really want. So I would say work with us on that. Use the idea of assumable loans. And now knowing that a bank like us can help supplement a second mortgage to keep that out of pocket as low as 10%. Get them to go through the pre-approval package. A pre-approval is like a blank check. It's empowering. I got a blank check in my hands. I want to go shopping. Look for those assumable deals on the market, but even if they don't come out, maybe they find the house they really want. And then we find another package like a 2-1 buy down and we get them into the home they really want. So that's my strategy for today. I know I covered a lot. I'm here. Drop my information in the chat. So reach out to me. I'd be happy to go back over this with anybody.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that energy and that information. I did not know you could get a second. So I actually was just talking to an agent yesterday about that specific example. The guy selling it for 220. He wants $200,000 in his pocket. And I'm going to make sure that I get him connected with you ASAP. I did not know seconds were back like that. So that's awesome. Make sure you guys use that.
I can say one quick thing on that. A lot of banks don't offer it for 2 reasons. One, it's an absolute pain in the butt to have to just do a second mortgage and work with another first that you have no control of to close simultaneously. So it's a nightmare and there's really no profit margin in it. So a lot of banks, even if they can do it, they aren't going to market it. Something we want to do to bring value proposition to every single client. So as a good partner, it's not always what can I get? It's what can I give? And if I can give, I never have to worry in the end about what I get.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. That's a huge value proposition, guys. Make sure you guys reach out to Neil with any additional questions. I think there was something about a VA question. So maybe, Risa, if you want to reach out to Neil directly, or maybe you could chime in into the chat. Also, if you guys are looking for a great escrow officer, Centerstone Escrow or Preferred Escrow with Daisy Murillo, that's her contact information. Make sure you guys reach out to her. She takes really good care of all of our agents. Also, if you guys have a client that has credit problems that is not exactly at what the credit score that you guys need, Mike is excellent at repairing credit. I mean, I've had him have some of my clients that literally boosted their credit 200 to 300 points in less than 30 days, can literally save a deal, right? Or sometimes this happens, right? When you're in a transaction and literally the credit tanks for some reason, they do a repull of credit. So make sure you guys connect with Mike. That's his contact information. And also, you guys are all being kept up to date with trainings and everything else. If you guys are not part of our emails or our text alerts, make sure you guys reach out to Terry. So huge shout out to Terry for going above and beyond to keep everybody updated. So we got like 3 more minutes. I want to take this time to declare your goals, right? Like, again, I was talking about a lot of goal declarations, right? So this would be an opportunity for you to do so. What is it that you're going to create for the week? All right, let's go. Let's go. Who's up first? Who's up first?
I'm going to continue posting 1 post a day, and I'm at 11 days out of the 100 days. It's the challenge I've set for myself.
All right, 1 post a day. 1 post a day. Let's go. Let's go. Thanks, Benjamin. Appreciate you, brother. All right, who's up next? Who's up next? All right. All right.
Right here. Hi, this
Denise.
is Denise Orozco. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. My goal is to continue to hold on tight to my potential people that are 30 and 60 days out. And I just, I was looking at property and kind of going out there and continue to reach out to my sphere of influence. And that's my goal every day.
Love it. Love it. Awesome, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. All right. Who's up next? Who's up next?
I'll go.
What's up, Miss Carrie? How we doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you for allowing us on this call today. So yeah, I am actually a team leader. And so I love being on here because I like training, teaching, and mentoring the agents to making sure I keep them accountable. So accountability is definitely something that I'm going to make sure that I'm really, really working hard on with them. In addition to that, we do have 5 tasks that we do every single day, which 3 of them that you listed, which is prospecting, marketing, and so on. And so going to make sure that I really work with them on that. And so many great things that you did. I'm definitely going to order the book, Atomic Habits. I do think that everything starts with your habits. I love watching your videos. You get me pumped up. Your energy is great. And I always repost those, by the way, if you haven't noticed. And so just a lot of the things that you have on here is definitely something that I'm going to be continuing to teach my team so that they can stay in this market, be successful, and make it a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing all my stuff. And thank you for being on. Really grateful that you guys are on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Who's up next? We got like one more share, and then we're going to be concluding the conversation for today. Who wants to share? Goals for the week, intentions, ahas.
Leo, I'll share.
Hi, Eva.
This
Yes,
is
go for
Eva
it.
from New York, and my goal is to continue to get to know people here in the EXP world because I am relatively new to this experience, and I want to thank you for letting me join the call.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We got New York in the house. Thank you, Eva. Appreciate you being here. All right, guys. So that will be it for today. It is 11 o'clock on the dot. I do have another meeting to go to. Mr. James Facini said he's going to be knocking on 100 doors a day. Let's go. But thank you guys so much for being on. I'll see you guys at the next training. God bless each and every single one of you and create an amazing day.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.